Oh, my. Imagine waking up to this. Residents of an apartment complex on Kelton Avenue in Palms today finding their cars in floodwaters 2 to 3 feet deep. Their underground garage flooded overnight from heavy showers. Car horns blared, alarms went off. More than a dozen cars were swamped in that watery garage, and the Los Angeles Fire Department was called in to help. Residents were stoic about the soggy situation.
The keys from the car. I rushed in to turn it off to see what's happening, but then I saw all the flood and I realized we all got a problem.
It's pretty bad. I mean, it's already an old car, and you know, some of us, that's all we got, you know, and yeah, it's pretty upsetting, but you know, hopefully something will get resolved and you know, we'll go back to our normal lives.
Well, if you have a lot of rain in a short period of time, and if there's a lot of leaves on the street that plug up the storm drains, then it's going to flood.
Firefighters used heavy-duty pumps to remove the water from the garage. The scene is all clear tonight, and there's no estimate on how much damage was caused to the inundated cars. What a mess. You really feel for them, right? All right, it has been a wet 7 days here in SoCal. Meteorologist Star Harvey joining us now to talk about the punch each one of them packed.
That's right, Christine. You know, together they've turned or continue to turn November into one of the wettest on record. And it has also really stressed out some of our burn scars across the area. So altogether, this is how they stack up. Now, I've taken it upon myself to go ahead and name our three storms.
Break it down.
We'll start off here with storm number one. Last Saturday, we had it move in. It was driven by a strong atmospheric river and was our main soaker. It was also a slow-moving system, if you recall. It allowed bands of rain to really train over some of the same areas. We had debris flow thresholds that were also exceeded on several of our burn scars, including the Palisade, Eaton, and also the Mountain Fire burn scar in Ventura County. It prompted evacuation warnings and orders, and also some debris flow alerts. Now, our secondary storm, this one I'm calling the soaker, it arrived at the top of this week, and fortunately for us, the system didn't beat the weekend totals previous, but it did fall on already soaked hillsides. This essentially loaded the ground for the storm that followed, the one we're in now. We also saw our second round of street flooding due to early season clogged drains. And of course, burn scars became reactivated watch zones due to freshly saturated topsoil. And last but not least, our finale, it is the system that we are currently seeing exit. It did arrive for us yesterday. Now, we've already set records. For instance, downtown LA climbed past 3 inches for the month at one period. So more than 4 times our November normals, making this month the wettest November since the 1980s. This final storm doesn't have the same ingredients that we did see in some of our other storms, like those big totals. But what it does have is the worst setup. That's what I believe. We already have that fully saturated ground plus half an inch to an inch of rain. We're also now seeing the garage floods like we just saw in that previous video, but also a down tree like we had in Winnetka earlier today, and the potential for more burn scar issues. So, of course, the biggest takeaway isn't the individual storm totals, it's the combined impact. Essentially, when the ground reaches saturation, every additional tenth of an inch becomes runoff, and that dramatically increases the risk of flash flooding, but also that debris flow. So we are currently wrapping things up here, and of course we do have our chief meteorologist Adam Kruger, and he's here now to explain what remains of our storm, but also what to look forward to this weekend.
Fox 11 Weather is sponsored by Yamava Resort and Casino.
Yeah, so we're basically at the finale of the finale storm. Storm number 3, you named the finale, right? So things are settling down. Much needed break from all that wet weather. We'll look at the forecast in a second. There's a live view of the aftermath of what was a beautiful sunset a short time ago. I got some people sending me pictures and even video of it. So really a nice kind of quiet scene out there right now. There still could be some wet weather way east towards, let's say, Palm Springs or maybe some of the mountains into tomorrow morning. But let's start right here, because this is why now we're going to see a shift in our weather pattern because for the last 8 days, start talking about all that wet weather we've had. We've had the storm track farther south driving these storm systems toward us. Now we see that storm track shift farther north, which means we're going to dry out and we're going to warm up as we move through this upcoming week. On our weather headlines, again, the rain is mostly done. I say mostly because there's still going to be something like our far eastern areas, like I said, that might get a little bit into tomorrow morning. We also have gusty Santa Ana winds starting to pick up right now. That'll last into tomorrow. And like I said, dry, nice weather in the forecast ahead all the way into Thanksgiving. Here's radar right now. So we have some of those scattered light showers. You can see a little bit of snow still coming down over some of the mountains. There's a closer view. Again, most of us have seen our last raindrop for several days. But the winds now on the back end of the storm system have shifted direction. Now it's an offshore wind or a Santa Ana wind, and it's gusty in the usual Santa Ana wind-prone spots. So not everywhere, but kind of funneling around the San Gabriel Mountains. You can see these hot spots drawn in with the red and purple colors. Notice the wind gusts over 20. We did see, for example, in the San Fernando Valley today, the winds start to pick up with gusts over 20 miles per hour. That may have played a role in that tree that came down with that unfortunate situation in Winnetka we've been talking about. Going into tomorrow, you see those pockets where the winds will be gusting maybe over 30 miles per hour. But that's also helping to dry us out and warm us up tomorrow. So Futurecast is going to show as we go through tonight. Here's 10 o'clock. Clouds clearing out, moisture pretty much wrapped up for most of us. Way out east, like I said, there could be a few showers still lingering tomorrow morning, maybe still a little snow over some of the mountains, but then we are done for a while. All right, day planner shows tomorrow for LA. We got those 50s in the morning. We'll top out around 70 in the afternoon, mostly sunny skies, very pleasant weather on our Saturday outside of those gusty winds in some locations. I think the temperatures drop a few degrees Sunday, Monday because the dry Santa Ana wind will gradually shift to more of an onshore wind flow Sunday, Monday, which just brings the temperatures down a few degrees. Then we start warming back up to 70s as we go through next week. 75, mostly sunny on Thanksgiving for LA. That's pretty good. All right, for the coast, we've got upper 60s tomorrow, more like mid 60s on Sunday and Monday, and 70s coming to the coast by Wednesday and Thanksgiving Thursday as well. Valleys and Inland Empire about 70 tomorrow. And by the way, you notice there's dry weather in the forecast for all these locations. Low 70s on Sunday, mid to upper 70s as we head toward Thanksgiving. For the mountains, maybe still a little rain, snow in the mix there tomorrow. Snow, especially above about 7,000 feet. Dry in the mountains Sunday and beyond with some 50s coming. And real quick, I want to get to the deserts here. About 60 tomorrow in the high desert, 66 on Sunday. And in the low desert, it will be warmer, maybe a little rain there tomorrow, but then dry, 70s on Sunday, maybe 80 next week. Christine?
Oh.